Welcome to the Uniwide channel. Did you know that there is a country where we can do business with zero corporate tax, enjoy modern infrastructure, and obtain a long-term residency visa? It sounds incredible, but it is real in the United Arab Emirates. The UAE is a land of opportunity for entrepreneurs. Dubai, one of the 7 Emirates, has become a global hub for trade and finance. Here, you will find modern offices, excellent transport links, and flexible business conditions. Let's consider why we choose Dubai. Firstly, there are low or zero corporate taxes, with many companies exempt from taxation. Secondly, there is a developed infrastructure. Everything from offices to digital technologies is of the highest standard. Thirdly, there is the possibility of residency. Obtaining a long-term visa opens many doors. Additionally, the absence of currency controls and the fixed exchange rate between the dirham and the US dollar make financial transactions more predictable. English is widely spoken, which greatly simplifies business communication. Here, we can not only run a profitable business, but also access banking services, purchase real estate, and provide our children with a quality education. In this video, we will share a step-by-step guide on how to open a company in Dubai, what types of companies are available, and how to take advantage of their benefits. So, let's begin our journey into the world of limitless opportunities that the United Arab Emirates offers. First of all, let's understand what types of companies are available in the UAE to choose the best option for your business. The first type is local or mainland companies. We can register a company on the UAE mainland. Since July 2021, foreigners have had the right to own 100% of the shares in such a company without involving a local partner. This is a great opportunity for those planning to do business directly in the Emirates. Such companies require a real office and must fully pay their authorized capital. Local companies can operate both within the country and outside of it. The next type is companies in free economic zones, or free zones. The UAE has more than 50 free zones, each with its own features. Under certain conditions, these companies can get full tax exemption, 100% foreign ownership, and there is no currency control. However, these companies can only do business within the free zone or on the international market, not on the UAE mainland without a special intermediary. The next type is offshore companies. If our business is focused exclusively on international operations, an offshore company may suit us, although this type has lost some of its appeal recently. Previously, offshore companies were granted complete tax exemption, but since 2024, they may be subject to corporate tax, just like companies in free zones. They do not need an office in the UAE. However, they are not allowed to do business within the country. The choice of company type depends on your goals. If you plan to work with local clients, a local company will suit you. For international trade and tax optimization, it is better to choose a company in a free zone or an offshore company. Each free zone specializes in certain sectors: IT, finance, trade, and so on. We will help you select the zone that best meets your needs. Now let's discuss taxation, obtaining a residency visa, and opening a bank account in the UAE. Since June 2023, the UAE has introduced a corporate tax at a rate of 9%, which applies if a company's profit exceeds 375,000 dirhams, approximately 102,000 US dollars. However, companies in free zones are still exempt from corporate tax, provided certain conditions are met. In addition, companies in free zones can obtain a tax residency certificate, which allows them to take advantage of double taxation treaties with other countries. There is also a value-added tax in the UAE at a rate of 5%. It applies to the supply of goods, the provision of services, and imports. VAT registration is required if the company's taxable transactions over the previous 12 months exceed 375,000 dirhams. As a company owner in the UAE, you will be entitled to a residency visa. This opens up a number of advantages, particularly access to the local banking system and the ability to open personal and corporate accounts. The residency visa offers opportunities in education, healthcare, and real estate. You gain access to the best schools and universities for your children, quality medical care and insurance, as well as the right to purchase and own property. Residency also makes travel and long-term stays in the country easier. The visa is usually issued for 2 years, with the possibility of extension. Now let's discuss opening a bank account in the UAE. This is not a simple process and requires attention to detail. Banks in the Emirates primarily focus on servicing residents, that is, local companies and free zone companies, as well as individuals with a residency visa and Emirates ID. Banks carry out thorough checks on the company and its owners. To open an account, confirmation of the company's activities and personal documents of the owners will be required. Having a real office will be a significant advantage. We are ready to help you gather all the necessary documents and choose a bank that suits you in terms of conditions and service. Please note that the UAE strictly monitors compliance with the law. It is important to submit reports on time and meet all the requirements of the regulatory authorities. Now that we have covered the main aspects, let's move on to a step-by-step action plan for opening a company. So how do you open a company in Dubai, step by step? The first step is to define the business activity and type of company. First, we must clearly determine what kind of activity the company plans to carry out. This will affect the choice of license and possible restrictions. It could be commercial activity, for example, trade, export, or import, or service activity such as consulting or IT services. It could also be industrial activity, such as manufacturing or assembly. Next, we need to choose the type of company and its location. Based on your goals, we choose between a local company, a free zone company, or an offshore company. We also decide in which emirate and possibly in which free zone the company will be registered. The second step is preparing the documents. We need to gather a package of documents to set up the company. These include copies of the founders' passports, completed registration forms, in some cases a business plan, and proof of the founder's residential address. Next, the application is submitted and fees are paid. We submit the documents to the relevant registration authority and pay the registration fees and the cost of the license. Once the application has been reviewed, we receive the certificate of company registration and the license to operate. The next step is obtaining a residency visa and opening a bank account. First, we will submit the documents for your residency visa and, if needed, for your family members or employees. Next, with the documents in hand, we will approach the chosen bank to open a corporate current account. We at Uniwide are ready to support you at every stage of this journey. Our experience in the UAE and over 30 jurisdictions allows us to offer the best solutions for your business. In conclusion, let's summarize and look at further opportunities for your business in the UAE. By working with us, you will receive expert support, as we know all the details of registering and running a business here. We take into account the unique needs of each client and offer a personalized approach. We can also help with accounting support, taking care of bookkeeping and reporting. Our lawyers are ready to advise on UAE law. The United Arab Emirates is the perfect place to grow a business. The country has a stable economy and steady growth. Thanks to its strategic location, you have convenient access to the markets of Asia, Europe, and Africa. The government actively supports new technologies and startups, creating favorable conditions for innovation. If you are considering expansion or want to take advantage of all that Dubai has to offer, now is the time to act. Thank you for watching this video. Contact us for a free consultation. We will discuss your goals and offer the best solution.